Hello, Pastor Wink here again with our Advent Devotional, and it's Christmas Eve. It has, in some words I suppose you would say, it has finally come, and in other words, which I'm more inclined to lean toward, I can't believe it's here already. We are one day away from Christmas and 366 days away from Christmas at the same time. Do the math, you'll figure that out. Today is Thursday. It's the fourth week of Advent, so it's the fourth Thursday of Advent. And the title of our devotional today is According to Your Word. According to Your Word. And then here's the verse that goes along with that from Luke chapter 1, verse 38. Then Mary said, "Here am I, the servant of the Lord. Let it be with me according to your word." There's a lot being said right there. Let's continue reading and we'll cover that a little bit. Just imagine what Mary was actually saying in the words to the angel Gabriel. "I am the handmaid of the Lord. Let what you have said be done to me." She was saying, "I don't know what this all means, but I trust God, and I trust you, and I believe that good things will happen." She trusted so deeply that her waiting was open to all possibilities. And that's from the text Finding My Way Home, page 101. To understand Mary's response, "Let it be according to your word," and let what you have said be done to me, is also to gauge what was Mary's understanding of what was taking place. What did she understand was happening? So much speculation was rampant throughout the teachings, throughout the temple, throughout expectations of who Messiah was going to be, of what Messiah was going to be. It's doubtful to me that she would have had any idea of the reality of who Jesus became and who Jesus was, and certainly not to the death on the cross. She probably was basing much of her decision on what she knew. It wasn't that she really had a decision. God came to her and said, "Mary, this is what's happening," and her response was, "Well, let it be done." Let's continue reading. Yesterday we reflected on the words of the angel Gabriel when he told Mary, "Do not be afraid." Today we can reflect on Mary's response. She first asked the angel for clarity. "How can this be? For I am a virgin," right? This was not a sign of doubt. Rather, she used her reason to better understand the fittingness of what God was about to do. After that, she offered the simple affirmation, her fiat, "Let it be done." There is no better exemplar of faith for us in the Christian scriptures. And I think that's interesting. We say the phrase, and it's of course scriptural, that God judges the heart and God knows the intent. And in the story of Zechariah, Zechariah says, "How can this be? My wife is old. She is barren. And I am old." And Gabriel responds with sort of a punishment for having doubt. And then here, Mary says, "How can this be? For I'm a virgin." But it isn't doubt. And we know this because of God's reaction to, or the angel's reaction to, and God's reaction to, the response that's given. With Zechariah, the response that was given came from a heart full of doubt. And God reads the heart and understands and knows the heart. And then the consequences thereof were that he would be mute until the baby was born. Mary has a pure heart, and her heart's not full of doubt. Her heart is rather, how's this going to happen? I'm on board. whatever God asks of me, I will do. And it's interesting that we can look to Mary as this exemplar of faith, this young teenage girl who just says, let it be done. Once we accept the invitation of God to draw close to Him, to witness His saving power at work in the circumstances of our life, we must imitate the faith of Mary in saying, yes, God gives us the grace to hope that all that He has promised for us will come to pass. Christmas is upon us. Let us take advantage of the outpouring of grace this season. So we can follow Mary's example just by saying yes. What is God calling you to do? You know, it's in your heart. What does He want you to do? What is the desire of your heart? God will put His desire in your desire if you pay attention. If you pay attention. I remember as a kid saying, I didn't want to be a pastor, and I certainly don't want to be a missionary because I don't want to be stuck in Africa the rest of my life. That was foolish. And then God put the desire of His heart in my heart. And I began to see how God was calling me more and more and more toward the ministry. And it's just a matter of saying yes. Now, you may not be being called to be a pastor or a missionary. That's understandable. But what is God calling to you to do? Is it to go to a neighbor? Is it to go to a relative? Don't let the Christmas season pass without experiencing that outpouring of grace by following what God has asked you to do and saying simply, let it be done. And here is our prayer for this devotional. Whatever you have in mind for me this season, Lord, let it be done to me according to your word. Amen. Amen, Karcher, and Merry Christmas.